Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Packers trade pitch would net Ceedee Lamb for draft pick, 2 WRs. The Green Bay Packers have spent 2 consecutive NFL drafts building up one of the youngest and most dynamic group of pass catchers in the league, and they may be able to cash in on that to the tune of one of the biggest star wide receivers in the game. Brad Gagnon of Bleacher Report on Thursday, June 6, authored a trade pitch that would see Green Bay flip a future second-round pick, Jayden Reed, and either Christian Watson or Romeo due to the Dallas Cowboys for All-Pro Ceedee Lamb. The Green Bay Packers have a lot of good, though not great or well-established, receivers. But in a huge year for Jordan Love and company, the team might want to go bold with Lamb and sacrifice 2 of them for his services, Gagnon wrote. He continued, in this case, we're presenting the idea of Dallas landing one primary slot guy to more directly replace Lamb, Jayden Reed, along with one of 2 talented, but generally disappointing, outside figures. All come cheap right now, and the Cowboys would be foolish to turn away from them, as well as some day 2 draft capital, ahead of such an odd-looking season. Lamb has been undeniably awesome across his first 4 seasons, and has carved out a place for himself not just as a true WR1 in the NFL, but as among the very best in the game right now. He led the league last season with 135 receptions, posting career highs of 1,749 receiving yards and 12 TDs, per Pro Football Reference, while earning a first-team All-Pro selection in the process. The Minnesota Vikings put Dallas in a tough position by agreeing to a 4-year, $140 million mega deal with Justin Jefferson that includes $110 million in total guarantees. The extension makes Jefferson the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history at $35 million annually. Lamb is also extension-eligible. Spotrac projects his market value at north of $136 million over a new 4-year deal, $34 million annually, and the Cowboys may have to kick in a few million more just to get him even with, or slightly ahead of, the number for which Jefferson signed. Dallas doesn't have to play that game just yet, as Lamb is under contract through 2024-25 on an $18 million 5th-year team option, which the Cowboys were allowed to exercise due to his status as a former first-round pick, number 17 overall. Beyond that, Dallas could use a franchise tag to keep Lamb with the team through 2025-26. Despite all that, however, Lamb still holds reasonable leverage in contract negotiations with the Cowboys simply due to his stardom and inevitable ability to walk in free agency at the end of either 2, or possibly 3, more seasons in Dallas. That said, uncertainty surrounding the long-term future of quarterback Dak Prescott and a recent history of untimely playoff exits add a murkiness to the Cowboys' collective future that could impact Lamb and his negotiations. Trading for Lamb is a doubly pricey proposition considering not only how much the Packers would have to surrender in the form of assets to acquire him, but the massive financial commitment they would be making to sign him long-term after that. However, if there is a chance to pair Love with a top-5 receiver for the next half-decade or more, it's something Green Bay must at least consider. Larry Allen, Dallas Cowboys great, dead at 52. Larry Allen, a Hall of Fame Dallas Cowboys lineman, has died at age 52. Allen, or LA as he was affectionately referred to, suddenly died on Sunday, June 2, while vacationing with his family in Mexico, per the Dallas Cowboys. The team released a statement on Monday, June 3, regarding the Los Angeles native's untimely passing and offered their condolences to one of the most decorated linemen in NFL history. Larry, known for his great athleticism and incredible strength, was one of the most respected, accomplished defensive linemen to ever play in the NFL, the team's statement read. His versatility and dependability were also signature parts of his career. Through that, he continued to serve as inspiration for many other players, defining what it meant to be a great teammate, competitor, and winner. He was deeply loved and cared for by his wife, Janelle, whom he referred to as his heart and soul, his daughters Jayla and Loriana, and son, Larry 3. The Jones family and the Cowboys extend their deepest condolences, thoughts and prayers to the Allen family and grieve along with the many other friends and Cowboys teammates that also loved Larry. Dallas also stated that details surrounding a memorial service for Larry Allen will be disclosed in the future. Legendary Cowboys Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith both reacted to the news on social media, sending love to their brother. Both men played with Allen on the Cowboys and won Super Bowl 30 together. Aikman took to X/Twitter with his message to his late friend, typing, "Just received the heartbreaking news of the passing of our beloved teammate Larry Allen. He was a HOF offensive lineman that dominated opponents regardless of the position played. Off the field, he was a gentle giant that loved his family. Rest in peace, LA." Smith hit Instagram with his heartfelt message to Allen, where the running back could be seen with eyes full of tears. He stated that he was reflecting on the good times spent with the best lineman he has ever played with. "I got a call from my daughter. Skylar called to tell me that he passed away." Cowboys trade proposal flips Ceedee Lamb for 2 potential star WRs. It is possible, however outlandish it might seem now, that the Cowboys and wide receiver Ceedee Lamb will continue their game of contract chicken into NFL training camp, have it morph into a holdout from Lamb and ultimately create so much negative energy that Cowboys brass finally decides to chuck it all in and simply trade Lamb elsewhere. Long shot, no doubt. But also possible. Lamb did not show up for mandatory practices last week, and could be fined around $100,000 for the decision. Those fines will continue if he goes into training camp without a new deal, at which time it is a safe bet that Lamb will continue to be a no-show holdout. As long as the tumult continues, there will be the chance, however slim, of a trade. It is in that spirit that Bleacher Report put forth a post titled, "For Trade Packages for Ceedee Lamb That Cowboys Couldn't Deny Amid NFL Holdout," featuring packages from the Patriots, Steelers, Chargers, and Packers. And while the offers are all interesting in their own way, we can safely assume that the Cowboys could, certainly, deny each one for a player of Lamb's caliber. The Packers' offer is probably the best of the bunch, because it offers the Cowboys, who are decidedly thin at receiver behind Lamb, 2 players who have the potential to develop into stars. The offer goes, the appeal for the Cowboys is obvious. Both Dew and Watson have shown the potential to be number 1 receivers in the NFL. Dew caught 59 passes for 674 yards and 8 touchdowns last year, and Cowboys fans surely remember the 6 catches for 151 yards and a touchdown he put up against Dallas in the playoffs. Watson has a higher ceiling and is one of the fastest players in the league, 4.37 40-yard dash in college. But Watson has been plagued by hamstring injuries in his career, which has been limited to 20 games in 2 seasons. Reed is the bigger prize, as he excelled from the slot in his rookie season and would fill Lamb's role, only without the mega contract. Here's what writer Brad Gagnon had to say about it: "We're presenting the idea of Dallas landing one primary slot guy to more directly replace Lamb, Jaden Reed, along with one of 2 talented but generally disappointing outside figures. All come cheap right now, and the Cowboys would be foolish to turn away from them, as well as some day 2 draft capital ahead of such an odd-looking season." Lamb is still waiting for a new contract to materialize with the Cowboys, a process that should get a jump start now that the other major franchise receiver, Justin Jefferson, has agreed to a deal with the Vikings. Jefferson signed a 4-year, $140 million contract this week, making him the league's highest-paid wide receiver. It is unclear if Lamb will insist on getting more than Jefferson, or will take a contract worth a notch below. Most likely, he will wind up in the same ballpark, perhaps with less guaranteed money. Lamb and Jefferson might well be neck and neck as the best receivers in football, or at least the best in the NFC. He is coming off a year in which he led the league with 135 receptions and totaled 1,749 yards. In all, he has averaged 78.0 yards per game in his career and had 102.9 yards per game last season. Lamb was tied for fourth at Pro Football Focus among grades for 2023 wide receivers, with a 91.2. That was behind Tyreek Hill, who earns an average of $30 million per year, Brandon Ayuk and Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was tied with Nico Collins and Jefferson. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of CeeDee Lamb? Leave your opinion in the comments.